programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. So, I thought it'd be fun, a little bit of a personal challenge to myself. I'm going to try reviewing a figure right now that I have very, very little hands-on time with. Thank you to my buddy Tim for hooking me up with this and another figure we'll look at later. But for this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Transformers Kingdom Airazor. And yes, I actually have a flight stand now as well, so that I can do the flying thing with flying figures. Hooray! But yes, here you can see we have the, I'm guessing, hawk form of Airazor. And especially if you have a flight stand, this mode does work pretty well. I do have to say, massive shout out to the articulation in the wings. There are a lot of joints here to get a nice, smooth bit of, bend going on. The outer parts here even have a natural upswept angle to them. Fold them back here. So, yeah, everything about, this right now, this is pretty good. Go ahead and take her off the stand. Yes, I'm going to be calling this figure a her. I'm aware of the whole girl in the American cartoon, guy in the original. In the Japanese, I'm just going to stick with the American continuity where this was a chick. I didn't even do that on purpose. But yeah. So yeah, the bird mode, when you look at her from above, looks pretty good. There is also rotation on the head, a little bit of tilts, and even if you get up here, there's a little notch you can use to open the beak. So you get quite a bit there, but then you look at the rest of it, and it is very, very obvious that there's a whole robot under here. But I will give credit. I will give credit. This bird mode still is way better than it has any right to be. Trying to hide a robot under a bird is one heck of a task. I still think they actually did a pretty good job of it here, even though, yes, I'm going to rag on it a little bit for how much robot kibble is hiding underneath. Worth noting, there is a little joint right here so that you can bend the bird feet down. Like that, and then the feet themselves are on ball joints. So you get a little bit of poseability there. You can, fold the wings down and fold them up. Do more, perched style poses and stuff if you want to. So, yeah, overall, pretty good, I do have to say. So, go ahead, see if I can remember the transformation. I have done this once to get it into bird mode, and then I started the video. So, start by coming down here and popping off these weird little bomb missile things on each leg. Come back here, the tail actually pegs in right there. Just get that out of the way so that things are loosened up. The thighs are actually tabbing on as well, so you'll bring them out right there to untab them. Fold them down. Straighten out the legs. Rotate the hips around. Rotate the legs around just above the knee, then rotate the feet around in one of the weirdest but somehow better leg transformations I've ever seen. The fists actually plug in, or at least attempt to plug in right here to the sides of the body. Doesn't hold the best, but there are little tabs right there. Peg in. So go ahead, pull these out, unpeg them, straighten out that weird little joint right there at the wrist. Rotate the arms. If you want, you can even sort of stop here and just have a falcon, hawk, whatever, have an animal-headed robot mode, this kind of works actually, which is really funny to me. But to finish transforming, you'll come back here, open up the backpack as best as you can. I feel like it should open more, but it just doesn't quite. Get the bird head pointed straight up, and then rotate out the robot head. And then it's a little bit awkward, but there's a double hinge there that you're going to shift down in a very worrying way. I do not like the way it feels to do that. I do not plan on transforming this figure a whole lot. And I believe, yes, this tab is going into the bottom of the bird head as well. So, see if I can get all that lined up and pegged in. And then a little backpack here will peg in right there if I have everything lined up. I think I do. Again, I'm literally trying to look at something I've barely messed with. So do that. Go ahead and fold the wings up along her back. Like that. That's at least how they were stored. She was stored in the box. And there you have your Airazor in robot mode. And this is a really, really good robot mode, actually. For having to deal with being a bird, a very not friendly to holding a robot hidden underneath it mode, I think it works really well. Really nice paint on the face. And because of the way they did the eyes and everything, you get a bit of that illusion where it looks like she's watching you as you move around. And yes, with the head sculpt here, the face sculpt and everything, that's the other reason that I'm going with this being a her. Just the tiny waist, the hips. Yeah, this version looks very, very much like it is intended as a female, so I'm going to go with that. Go ahead here, take these things. You can put them back in the hips if you want, just put them in a drawer or whatever. I really don't know what these things are meant to be. I kind of miss when you used to get like blurbs about, character story and stuff, so they would tell you what their weird accessories are meant to be. But overall, yeah, still amazing transformation. The transformation is fun, it's interesting, and you get a great robot mode out of it. Poseability, that's what I'm looking for. The head is on a ball joint, so she can look up, look down, rotate, bit of, tilt and wiggle, everything. Really nice range of motion there. The arms can rotate at the shoulder effectively all the way, just eventually the wings will get in your way. You can adjust the shoulder pads, arms move out all the way, got a swivel right there in the bicep, little bit past 90-degree bend at the shoulder, or at the elbow, I mean. Then you do have this joint here in the wrist if you want, which since it actually goes up instead of down, it's quite a bit more useful than most, random wrist transformation joints. Again, props. Got a waist rotation. Can kick forward all the way, back, only about that far until the tail fins get in the way, and I think I unpegged things. Peg it back together. The little front skirt here will move out of the way as well if needed for posing. Can do way more than the full splits. You got rotation right there just at the thigh, just above the knee. It is another of those double mushroom pegs. These seem to be a new thing that they're just doing now, so I'll stop mentioning them, but I still really like them. They hold up well. They give they're just good all around, okay? I like these double mushroom pegs. Really, really deep knee bend. You get that joint there at the ankle if you need for whatever reason. Then you've still got the exact same ball joint on the feet because it is the same foot. So yeah, overall, I have to say this figure kind of surprised me. This is not a figure I had planned on actually messing with and looking at. I'm very, very glad that I did. Oh, and before I forget to mention, yes, there's a little tiny maximal symbol right there on this arm. I love how well they're doing with these tiny faction symbols on the figures right now. I love that. So overall, yeah, this is actually a pretty incredible figure, and I very, very much have to recommend picking her up if you get a chance. So, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.